Moving on to topic 2, let's talk some wrestling, because, it's a big wrestling weekend. Well, if you didn't know, it's a big wrestling weekend. We had Night of Champions as of yesterday from Saudi Arabia, so Blood Money 2023 is in the books. So quickly wanted to go over the matches that happened yesterday, what happened, the ups and downs, and go from there. Do you want to talk about our tribal chief, Moose? That's the main event. You got to hold on there, buddy. Night of Champions overall was a decent show. I wouldn't say anything astronomically amazing. Nothing bad happened. It was a fine show. I will say the crowd, has shown up and shown out once again. We've gotten a very good string of crowds for recent WWE events. Obviously, Mania is always going to be huge. But then these next 3 premium live events, pay-per-views after Mania, all being in foreign markets, that's going to help them just because, well, obviously they don't get the chance to see these superstars in action all that much. So Backlash Puerto Rico, Night of Champions being Saudi Arabia, the next one being Money in the Bank in London. I'm sure that energy is going to continue, but it's just nice from a viewer perspective to have that, and adds another layer to it, as we talked about with the Backlash topic not too long ago. Just adds a layer to it, adds the excitement, and is fun for all. So for Night of Champions, we had 7 matches in total. Every match got their time except for one, which we'll talk about. And like I said, nothing breaking the bank in terms of that was an amazing match or anything like that. Nothing awful in terms of mess ups or things that didn't feel good or anything like that. It was just a fine show in terms of match quality. Good watch. So we kicked off the night with Seth Rollins against AJ Styles for the new World Heavyweight Championship. So this is the one they're establishing for Raw. Trying to get the ball rolling there, as Roman's kind of held on to his belts for, as of yesterday as recording, 1,000 days. So they're like, maybe we should get a title over here. Seth went over AJ here, like a lot of people thought. He's going to be kind of the face here. Obviously, the thing of the draft didn't help, with AJ technically being on SmackDown. Not that he couldn't have jumped ship back to Raw, but the two had a good match. We kind of dealt with a little bit of an injury angle with Seth's knee at one point, but he overcame that injury. Seth picked up the win and the title here, and apparently immediately flew out to go film some more Captain America stuff. So that's a whole nother discussion that I know people are having right now. But happy for Seth. I think he definitely deserves it. Obviously, he's very over and popular with the song and his look and his gimmick. So looking forward to seeing what they do with this World Heavyweight Championship. It seems like they're going to make it a workhorse championship, obviously defend it more than Roman. But I'm interested to see the scale or how crazy they get with defending this thing. I assume they'll go back to every pay-per-view, aka every month. But maybe occasionally we get a TV defense here and there, and seeing maybe a title change on TV, which we've done in the past, but I feel like it's been a while. Just could be interesting, just something to kind of boost interest into the product and be like, oh, wow, get back to that anything can happen mentality. In terms of Seth, I guess I'll just touch on it real quick. If he's leaving for movies, I don't think we need to be concerned. Becky went out and did Young Rock for a little while, but was still felt present. Didn't feel like she was out super duper long. With Seth doing this project with Captain America, I feel it's a side role. It's very small. I don't know much about it, but it's the Serpent Society, so I assume he's not a main character. So, one project's not going to kill us. If he's just doing that and then he's around, fine. If he feels like he's going to be out longer, maybe that's how you establish this as a title you need to keep your eyes on. If it's workhorse and we're defending it often, maybe he loses it soon. You could make the argument of oh, why didn't AJ win it then? Not that AJ doesn't deserve it. It's just not what's not the plan right now. AJ's working with OC. He just came back after 4 months. Like, he did very good in this match. Like, he didn't seem like he missed a day physically, but you got to kind of ease him back in, figure out what you're doing with the OC if you have plans for them, because Gallows and Anderson haven't done anything, probably even Mia, since AJ's been out. So we got to reestablish them, get the ball back rolling, and maybe get them some momentum. So I think there's different plans for AJ. But yeah, if Seth lost it to somebody, I don't know who he would lose it to right now. But whoever picks it up, if they're gonna make this a work rate title, then just whoever it is, regardless, face, heel, superstar, that just has to be the focus. Like, okay, defending it, let's go. And like I said, that can make the magic of like anything can happen type thing. So you could be flexible in that scenario. I don't think Seth has to necessarily hold on to this for a long time. Not saying he should lose it immediately, but that's the point of the title. Like, a lot of challenges are going to happen. A lot of fights are going to happen. Potentially, it's going to be a belt that jumps around from time to time. I'm not saying it has to be like a TNT title or TBS if you're looking over onto AEW side of things. Well, not the TBS. That one's kind of stuck where it is. But the TNT, where it randomly jumps from person to person, but you could do something like that. Find that happy middle ground is all I'm trying to say. Next, we had Becky versus Trish Stratus. I thought this one was fine. Trish definitely is okay in the ring. I think she does good as the heel persona. They had a lot of time. I felt like this match went super long. Like, I had no interest in the story. I think both talents are great, but I had no interest in the story. So this was the point. I was like, I'm going to make some lunch. And I was surprised it went longer than me preparing food. And for a little while, it just seemed like a long match. Had no interest really in the story going as they were telling it going into the pay-per-view. I get what they were going for, just something with me didn't fully click. However, the ending of this match got me more intrigued in the angle than going into it. So for some reason, the ladies go outside. Trish gets rolled back in. Becky's about to go back in, but from under the ring, Zoe Stark makes an appearance, interferes in the match, hits the Z360 on Becky, rolls her in. Trish hits... it's not the kick chick. What's the springboard thingy? I don't know what it's called. Stratisfaction, maybe? I'm a real wrestling fan. Hits her finish and pins Becky there for the finish. This has me more interested because we are pushing Zoe immediately. And not in terms of like fast tracking or anything, but I think this is the right move with any call up. Granted, I'm showing a little favoritism here because I actually enjoy Zoe's work and she's shown it in the NXT brand. It shows that they have faith in this individual, regardless of who it is. Obviously, it's Zoe now. So they have faith in Zoe to put her in a picture with someone who has been top or a more recognizable person in the women's roster for the general public. And what I mean by that is, like, not everybody watches NXT. So when you do these call-ups, while it's exciting for people who do watch NXT or are in depth with all the stuff, but for a general person, you see them, they come in, they do these squash matches. It's going to take a while to build this person to be someone that they care about. Putting Zoe in a program, I guess immediately with Becky, just like elevates her, but like, oh, this is someone we should have an eye on that she's going against Becky. Like, obviously it could play wrong if the chemistry's not right, something goes wrong, whatever it is. It's a risk, but I think this is the right way. If it works, it will be a check in the box of like, Zoe's a name already, or can be a name already for the general audience of like, oh yeah, Zoe Stark's here. She's a known name. She's a known threat. She's credible. That's the word I'm looking for. She's credible. It's not just going to be like, well, they're there. No offense to Indus Sher. If we're going to talk about other call-ups, that's a team that right now, granted it's only been a week that they've been on TV, that right now no one's going to care about. You came in, you beat up local talent, and yeah, you're big dudes that go raw. You need to do something. Either attack a team that's already established or go about it a different way. The jobber enhancement talent route, I don't feel works. If I'm going to use a personal example, Omos is still someone for me that I'm like, I don't really connect and care. Like, he's had decent matches with Seth, with Brock, with some other talents, but like, how many squash matches has he had against enhancement guys? It doesn't do anything. It's just like, yeah, I know the result of this already. How does this build them? How am I supposed to feel this is a threat? I'm not saying you got to throw people into matches with, people and expect 5-star classics and that's the only way they can get over. That's not my intention. I just think this is a better way of going about it, of like, here's established superstar. Here's person we're trying to establish. Put them together, compared to here's someone we're trying to establish. Here's nobody with no credibility. This person doesn't gain anything from this person. This person has a role, and they do their role very well, but this climb is going to be a lot slower compared to credible and who I want to be credible going after each other. This person has the experience. This person already has the respect of the crowd, face, heel, experience, whatever it is. This rise will be faster because of it. So, excited for Zoe. Hopefully, she can pull it off. I have faith that she can, but, things happen. We'll have to see where this goes from here. Looking forward to that. Next, we had the IC champion, Gunther, defending against Mustafa Ali. This is a weird one. We had a feeling Gunther was going to retain. He does retain here. Mustafa has been like this roller coaster of emotions of like stop, start, stop. Back and forth momentum building. And they gave him a vignette beforehand showing, him going to Saudi Arabia, being a part of this like religious experience, being a part of this event. And while it was cool to see, I feel this would have been more effective if we had built Mustafa before. He's never gotten a consistent build, it seems. Like, from the 205 Live days, he was there. He did the whole, not superhero gimmick, but little Iron Man look. Built popularity there, Goes off to do Retribution. We all know how Retribution went. Had a lot of potential, and then we got stupid with it with code names and no build, and then we were just there. To then not doing anything for a while. Then he was Positive Ali for a few weeks, which was entertaining. And now we're not doing that character, ? He's a solid talent. I'm glad he got time. I'm glad he got moves in. They built it. The two in the ring built it where there was a little bit of like a build of hope and believability, but Gunther retained. It's now a matter of what are we going to do with Ali after this? He's free agent, so he can show up on any of the 3 brands. Just please invest in him. He can be good, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy. He can do it. We just need to be consistent with giving him something. No one's going to care if we just keep doing the start-stop or don't give him a program. I don't know. That's all. That's all I got to say about that. Then we had the Raw Women's Championship from 2 SmackDown superstars. We had Asuka defeating and winning the championship against Bianca Belair. Kind of a surprise, a little bit. I wanted Asuka to go over at Mania, but they wanted to keep Bianca's Mania streak going. But Asuka wins here, uses the mist via her fingers. Nice little twist on that. Rakes the eyes of Bianca while having the mist on her fingers. Hits 2 decent kicks onto Bianca. Gets the pin, gets the win, gets the championship there. I thought this was a better match than their Mania thing. I've seen some other people saying otherwise. This one was a good match. Happy for Asuka. Get her back elevated as well. Give her some things to do. Nothing against Bianca. I like Bianca as well. Just time for a change. That was all. There's some rumors going around that Bianca and Street Profits might turn heel. I think that's a bad move, regardless. Obviously, dirt sheets are dirt sheets, so take everything with a grain of salt until we actually see it. But interested to see where Bianca goes from here. We have the little tease of Rhea and Bianca potentially at next year's Mania. But we have a long road before that. So, yeah, good for Asuka. Excited to see what's next for Bianca. We'll have to see. What was next from here was the SmackDown Women's Championship with Rhea Ripley going against Natalya. So, back-to-back ladies matches. And to that, I went, that's a weird choice. Until the match happened. And I was like, oh, all right. Didn't even matter. Now, Natalya, you've been around for like 10 plus years. Your character has little to none, whatever the phrase is. Character development. You're a good hand and you help. Everybody had this reaction when we saw her come out to try and save Dana Brooke a few weeks ago of like, this is the first thing we're doing after, or the next rivalry we're doing for Rhea. Okay. This match, I shit you not, lasted 69 seconds. Nice. Both of them came out. Natalya did this whole thing with the crowd. She's hugging people, high-fiving people, taking photos, giving the glasses away. Rhea comes out with Dom. Dom's an idiot as always, doing his thing. Rhea takes her out of the ring, smashes her against the stairs, brings her in, riptide, I believe. That was the only things they did. Pins her, wins, retains. See you, bye. I'll take my money, please. Thank you. What was the point? Literally 0 point of this. It didn't do anything. It was a very useless angle. You needed a defense for the pay-per-view, and this was the best you could do, I guess. Okay. Next one, we had Brock Lesnar going against Cody Rhodes. Cody's got a broken arm or a fracture. He's got a cast on. I thought this was going to be a gimmick match. It's not a gimmick match. It's just a rematch between the two. Normal match. Cody smacks the shit out of Brock with his cast 800 times. I've never had a broken bone, knock on wood. But I would assume if you hit somebody with your cast, that's going to hurt you a lot. Apparently doesn't. I get it inflicts damage on Brock. He hits Brock a bunch with the cast, never busts him open. I think that might have been the goal here. Brock eventually hits an F5. Cody kicks out of the F5. We get a Kimura lock. Cody somehow survives the first Kimura lock. Eventually we get a second Kimura lock. Cody Rhodes passes out from it. Brock will win this match. Fine. I get the logic of it. Why would he beat him with a broken arm, hand, fracture, whatever? That's totally fair. I thought the gimmick match would allow for Cody to get over, or at least, win still logically with a broken limb. But we didn't. We went the regular route, so fine. I'm just not excited about this because now we have to do Brock Cody 3 because we need the rudder, whatever it's called, match. And we need somebody to go up 2-1, which hopefully will be Cody here. So then he can go and finish the story at SummerSlam, beat Roman Reigns, and we can move on from this. I get what we were trying to do with this Cody Rhodes, like beat the shit out of him, break him down, and then we get more of like a, hey, moment. If the plan is SummerSlam to swap the belt, I don't think this has done anything for Cody. But that's just me. Well, I don't know. I don't care about. I'm just really not looking forward to another one of these at Money in the Bank. I don't care. And then we got the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. We got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. We got Owens and Zayn retaining after some bloodline shenanigans. Match was good. Very happy for Sammy that he was able to obviously make an appearance in Saudi after, not making an appearance after all these years due to bigger issues. Roman and Solo played this perfectly. Solo took a lot of the brunt work. Roman played the heel up perfectly, chanting, talking, doing a lot of heel work, cheating when Solo would distract the referee, etc. Unfortunately, the referee would get knocked out at one point via a spear from Roman. Kevin would go outside, try and set up a table spot on Roman from the announcer tables. Usos would make a grand entrance and appearance from the crowd, not supposed to be at the event at all. Superkick Kevin. Attempt to double superkick Sammy. Sammy ducks. They kick Solo Sikoa instead. Roman rolls in, yells at both of them. What are they doing? What are they doing at the event? Shoves Jimmy away. Jimmy is pissed. Roman looks to Jay, yells at him some more, pushes him away, turns around, eats a super kick from Jimmy. Jimmy is retaliated. Jay asking what is going on. Jimmy says, we're brothers. This is what we're supposed to do. I'm going to do what you were supposed to do a long time ago. Nails Roman with another brutal super kick as Roman's getting up, and the two leave, walking up ramp as Jay still looks conflicted in this whole situation. Zayn and Owens would hit both their finishers on Solo Sikoa, get a pinfall via no referee, 1, 2, 3 of the chants crowd, then a clean 1, 2, 3 after the referee did enter back in, or rather a new referee. And we close there with Roman looking very frustrated as the bloodline continues to crumble in front of his very eyes. Match result made sense to me. It would have been fun to see the internet chaos if Roman and Solo did win, with Roman having 4 belts, but we did not get that. I like what we're doing here. The only thing that made me scratch my head, obviously the last couple of weeks we've been really, and they showed it in the video package, we were really dumping on the Usos from a Roman perspective. And we're really dumping on Jimmy because he's like, what do you mean? Like, just kind of not understanding fully why Roman's pissed. I thought Jay would have been the one to pull the trigger and kick Roman or betray Roman. And to see Jay still so conflicted confuses me a little bit. And the reason it confuses me is circling back to the Royal Rumble. When Sammy eventually stops Roman from hitting Kevin with a chair, and eventually hitting Roman with the chair and turning there, Jimmy is the one yelling at Sammy, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Jimmy is the one to deliver the super kick to Sammy. They do the beatdown, and Jay doesn't join in on the beatdown, walks away, hands covering mouth, like super conflicted, super pulled in both directions, and torn. I thought he would be the one to finally be like, okay, enough is enough, and turn. Jimmy being the one to turn was interesting. I get it from the past couple weeks of Roman passing the blame to them and blaming them for all their losses and like they're bringing things down. I can understand that. It just leaving that situation after Jimmy delivers the kick and they go up the ramp. Jay wasn't doing exactly what he did at the Rumble in terms of being torn and split between both sides. He still seemed troubled about the whole situation. I feel like he's still going to side with Jimmy and we're going to get, Usos versus Sikoa and Roman. It just, I don't know. I feel like Jay should have had more of a, yes, I understand we're dividing from the bloodline, definitive cut, instead of still having this like struggle inside his head. I don't know. Interesting call, but I think the right one in terms of the titles. So, Night of Champions, I know I said overall, like, nothing breaking the bank, nothing good, nothing bad that, like, stood out. It was a fine thing. Going back through this, at least in terms of my opinion, because this is not, like, everybody obviously has their own thoughts and stuff that they can feel about it. In terms of mine, talking back about it, no, this is a lower one for me. I had a good time watching it. It was nice and chill, but I don't know. It's a lot of like what ifs. First match was fine. Good, check the box. Second match, I'm excited for what comes after. Third match, I'm not excited for what comes after. I'm skeptical of what happens after. Asuka winning, good. SmackDown title, stupid. Brock and Cody, hate what's coming next if they're doing 3. And then just the confusion of the last one. So, in my head, I'm just like, I don't, okay. We'll just have to see. Fine pay-per-view, more just me overthinking and analyzing stuff. We'll have to see where it goes. But yeah. Well, everybody, this has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011. Appreciate you guys hanging out today, giving this a watch, giving it a listen. If you guys ever want to catch the podcast live, you can always go over to twitch.tv/Enigma9011. Drop a follow over there. You'll get notified when we go live with the streams or the podcast, so you join in on the fun and the chaos over there and the conversation. But if you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video in MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, any way you can support the show, likes, comments, shares, reviews, whatever it is, may seem small, but it helps the channel grow. So if you take the time to do that, we'd love and appreciate you for it. Appreciate you guys hanging out for today's podcast for both of these topics. If you got any comments afterwards, of course, feel free to put it in the comment section down below and we'll get back to you. But once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.